Hello everybody, how you all doing? So here we are, the upcoming TFDi MD-11. It's not finished, there's some things need doing to it, a bit of work needs doing on the flight model, little things like the wheel here, but they've done a lot of work on this over the last week or two, well, months, but it's yeah, I really like it. If you're new to this aircraft like I was, then this might be good for you. This is going to be an FMS, well, a MCDu tutorial, how to set it up for the flight. Has a lot of functions, but these are the basic functions to set it up before a flight. I never flew the PMDG MD-11, so I had to learn this from scratch. But let's jump in. So we're going to go into the cockpit. Ignore anything that might be out of place. I've just basically turned on the power. This is about the MCDu and setting up the aircraft. I'm going to zoom in a minute, but basically, yeah, you would power up the aircraft and turn on the IRSs as part of the pre-flight. And if you want to check out then the align time, you can have a look in the reference here and position reference, and it would tell you here, okay, they align in minus, so they've already aligned minus 4 minutes, so there you go. But when you get to the aircraft, you'll be in this state here. Just want to show you how to set up a flight. So yeah, you would do also, when you do the pre-flight, you would come in here and you would go into the FMC there, and you would check the status here. Of course, we never do that in the sim. I don't. I'm not a professional pilot, as it will become evident over this video. And if you are wanting a highly detailed tutorial on this unit, then better read the FCOM, because I'm not going that deep into this. So you would go here into flight init, and you would put in, which I'm going to do now, the first thing. But actually, I'm just going to show you. I do have my flight plan here loaded from East Midlands to Philadelphia. I'm not going to type all this in, by the way. I just chose this because it has airways and it has Oceanic Waypoints. I could send my flight plan here, the SimBrief flight plan, now to the FMS, but if you're like me, I like to type it in manually, so that's the point of this video. We can also set the payload. Oh, yep, I hadn't done that already. Good. So let's get back to the MCDu. So like I said, now we're going to be putting in the two cities, as you could say in the Airbus speak. So AGNX, just bear with me here. And I always mix up Philadelphia, Honolulu, KPHL. Okay, that would go here. Then you would put your alternate, which I'm going to say is JFK. I didn't look at SimBrief, but JFK will make sense. Okay, and then we can come down here and put our flight number in. You would actually check your lats and longs at this point, actually. And we can finish this page as part of the pre-flight if we want to. We're going to initialize the IRS, and the flight number I've forgotten, but doesn't really matter. Let's put, I think it's something like 243 or something, UPS 243. Okay, cruise levels, this is interesting. Got step climbs here now. I have initial altitude of 28,000 feet, or flight level 280, and then I have 320. So you just put them in with a slash here, and you can put into up to 6 flight levels, I think. So they should go in here like this. There we go. And there will be a step climb along the way on the flight plan there. Yeah, and then we're going to put in the cost index, which I think is 20 for this flight. Cost index you get from SimBrief, or you can get it from here. Where is it? Yeah, here. There we go, beautiful. Back here. Right, and now we're going to put in temperature and wind. Now this is on the SimBrief flight plan. Actually, what they're looking for here is at that flight level. So on SimBrief it says it's minus 41 degrees, and then the slash. So here you can put now you put the headwind or tailwind, and we have a tailwind of minus 35 knots. So you can do minus, or for the tailwind, or plus for the headwind, of course, or you can do T for tailwind. Let's say 35, so let's see if that goes in. There we go. Temperature -41, and we've got tailwind, which doesn't make sense, but that's what SimBrief said. You're flying with the jet stream. Anyway, that's what SimBrief said. Now what we could normally do now, that's pretty much done for the pre-flight. Then you would set up the overhead and put on the air and all of those things and your lights and stuff, but we'll skip that part. Now we're going to come to putting in the flight plan, which would be the next step when you come back to the FMC, or MCDu. Okay, so here's our flight plan here. Now we can put directs in, or we can put airways, but I'll show you that in a moment. But of course, first, it's a bit of a mix between Boeing and Airbus, I guess, here. But we're on runway 27 departure, and we're on the Trent to November departure. We've got no transition, so we'll insert that. That's beautiful in there. It's got the restrictions in here. That's great. Yeah, that's right, above 3,000. I don't think this is going to be in this tutorial. Maybe at the end I'll add some parts about the entering flight levels or restrictions. Okay, let's scroll down. It should be to Trent. There we go. And then from here now we can start putting in our direct waypoints or airways. So in this case we have an airway from Trent, so we're going to click on Trent. We're going to hit airways, and it's the Quebec 4 to Vapka. Now just bear with me here for a moment, because I want to get to the Oceanic Waypoints here, which I've never actually inserted, so it'll be a good test to see if TFDi have modeled it correctly. Okay, so Vapka, I'll stop talking for a second and just UL8 to ASNIP. ASNIP should be right. Good. Upper Lima 28. Upper Lima 28. We're nearly there. To Penil. Penil. Sorry. Penil. Act your age. Always makes me laugh, that. Okay, last one here. Mike 144 to, I think, Bagso. Take a guess on that one. And if, for example, if Quebec 4 didn't go from Trent, there would be a message here telling you that. Okay, there we go. So, actually, I'm going to insert that, because the next one, actually I've never tried this. The next one is just a direct to Malot. Let's try that here. I think you do it on the previous page, on the flight plan page, but yeah, you do. Okay, so insert those airways, which now we should see. There we go, Listo all the way to Bagso, wasn't it? There we go, discontinuity. Now we're putting in the Malot here. Trust me to choose such a long flight plan. Okay, Malot goes in. Now, Oceanic Waypoints, we got okay, if you don't know how to do this, just take my word for it. You have to study that, sorry, but should be now 5220 north. So let's see if that goes in. I'm a bit nervous. Beautiful, beautiful. Next one is 4930 north. 4930 north. This is on the Atlantic track. Good. That's gone in okay. Let's just have a quick look on the plan if that looks believable. We'll zoom. No, we don't need to zoom out, do we? So there we go. Blah 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 blah. Oh, sorry. That looked good. Looked believable, didn't it? Let's decrease. No, increase the distance. There we go. We're heading in the right direction here. Super. So it works. I mean, I'm not finding very much at all from the FCOM. I have a FedEx FCOM and a KLM FCOM, about 6 of them, and yeah, it's working really well so far. So what I'm going to do now quickly, just to finish the flight plan, I'm just going to quickly go here and show you, if you want to send to flight plan, this is going to erase pretty much what I've done. Send flight plan to the FMC. Now if I go to here, there we go, that's how you'd get the flight plan. You'd get all of your waypoints in, your route, See that? It hasn't put the yeah, it hasn't put the Oceanic Waypoints in there. Okay, so they'll go in, you know that, but you just have to do that manually at the moment. Maybe they'll see this video and fix that. But the point of me doing that was to just go back here, quickly put in our SID and star. Sorry, runway and SID. Okay, just to show you what would be the next point. Now if you wanted to, now you could do nav radios, anything you wanted to use that's automatically tuned for Trent, but if you wanted to hard tune one, you would put it in here, and you see this will go from small numbers to big numbers. That's manually inputted. Good. And then the next thing, we're going to go to progress, check the distance against your flight plan and make sure it's within whatever you're happy with, 30, 40, 50 miles. That should be about right. Of course, it might be reading wrong now because we're doing direct across the Atlantic. Anyway, then you'd go, secondary flight plan, copy the active. Good, that should have copied. I'm not going to check it, just to show you. And now we're going to init the fuel. Okay, so I just got to put these back in here because, as I say, it wiped my stuff. Okay, I can remember what they were. That was good. Let's say, for example, it was minus 41. Whoops. Minus 41 and tailwind of 35, I think it was. And 280 and 320. Might be wrong, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just showing you how to enter stuff. Of course, when you're flying, it really does matter. So then you come back to this page, and then you go to page number 2. That would be, sorry, let's go back to where I was. Init. Now you're going to put in your fuel. I'm not a big one of putting in reserves and stuff. I just put in the total fuel. But we're looking at some real manuals and videos, and anyway, SimBrief tells me I've got £2,000, so that should be 2.0 there for taxi, and a route reserve. I believe they do. This is in minutes here. Oh no, where is it? Time here. You would do /30 minutes, I believe. They do in real life. Nope, it's not gone in there. Oh no, they said 10% on an international flight, 10% of your route reserves, which you would put in here. Okay, and then all of these weights now, center of gravity and weights, you could put in from here if you want to type them. Oh yeah, taxi fuel is in here. You could put those in if you wanted to. You can get them here from the payload as well here. I'm a little bit lazy. I like, if they're going to go in automatically, I'm just going to click next to them. Oops. And they are going to go in. Good. Next page would be your if you wanted to manually put some fuel in the ballast tanks, which is another topic. Okay, but we're going to leave that there. Okay, and now we're almost done. Now we just have to put our winds in, which we would go to, and now I've forgotten. Oh no, takeoff and approach. Yeah, we've got to do that. So we would go back to the FMC. There's a calculator here, which is really great. Okay, which I did do, but it's wiped everything again. So it's good to show you how we do this here. EGNX, and we're on 27, and we're runway length there. It's good, and we can get the information from the sim or SimBrief, and we can do here flaps specific. Yeah, 15 degrees. Yeah, we'll do that. Packs off. Good. Flex temp. Good. And then it will give you your V speeds here. They're very high, aren't they? Jesus. Maybe I could go a bit more flat, but anyway, there we go. We've got a flex temp of 28, which seems a bit low. I'm no expert, but anyway, they're the numbers we've got right now for this demonstration. So we're going to go back to the FMC. What do we need? We need flex temp, that was 28. Packs are off. Flap was 15. Slope and wind, I don't think in this sim, I don't know if that's modeled, but it does say it here. So we got -3 slope and we got a headwind of 11 knots. We can put that in here. Sorry, wrong one. We go -0.3 slope and we go headwind. So we can do plus or H, 11 knots. Good. Outside temperature. In real life, I'm told they don't use the temperature here. You get it from the ATIS, but we're not going to tune into the ATIS. We're going to just going to put 13 degrees in there, and that should bring up. Oh, yeah, format error. Why? 13 in this and the Boeing 717. You have to put 13 degrees centigrade. There we go. Confirm the V speeds. Super, and we're done there. Actually, you could go flying now, but if you want a little bit more accurate predictions, we would go to the performance page. In the climb, we can put in some winds here. You can see there's 3 pages, so we go next page. We can change the cruise here, and sorry, yeah, like I say, I did forget where this was here. Climb forecast. There we go. Yeah. So on the climb page, climb forecast, you can put winds in here. So this is for your climb. You can do the same for the cruise, which we'll do in a minute. So I've got 10,000 feet, so you would go 100, and the wind is 302, 17 knots. You put that in here. Yeah, you can do 4. I'll just do one more. Flight level 180 and 296030, 296030. Oh, actually, you see that? Didn't put the slash, did I? 96. Actually, just need to do 30 knots, don't I? Not 030. And that would give you. That actually does change your top of climb point on the ND when you're in flight and your top of descent if you put the cruise in. So they're really trying to model everything here. It's really super. So they've inserted. Good. And if you go to flight plan page, and if you go here, flight level 180, second page, you can also put the wind in here at a certain waypoint if you want to. Okay, good. We're pretty much done. Yeah, that's it, and it's a absolutely super do here. The ACARS is pretty impressive. The the placeholders they've put in place. I think, you know, the oceanic clearance, we can. I haven't. Every time I try to enter here something, you can't actually send it, but I think it's for the future. I mean, fantastic so far. So there you go. Let's just go back to flight plan here, and let's check out our route. Let's go back to map. Zoom out. There we go, and we have our plan there. Great. Next tutorial will be autopilot and FMA modes in a very unprofessional but hopefully informative way. Yeah, thanks a lot. You can stop watching now if that's enough for you. Or what did I say I was going to put? Oh yeah, I was going to say how to change specific restrictions here. So you can see if you want to change a speed, you don't have to put a splash. You could just say 220 at Trent if you had a an ATC restriction. You just put 220 here on the right and it will go in there, and you see it's gone into bold. It's a pilot input. Anything bold is hard coded. So let's say you're in the climb and you're climbing nicely and you're cleared to flight level 240. You're going to climb no problem here, keep climbing, but of course when you get to D160 delta, that it's going to level off at flight level 60. So all you do in the climb here is just come into clear that out, and then you'll keep climbing in VNAV, which is profile in this aircraft. That's really useful. It's a bit of a gotcha, of course. You've got to pay attention to your FMAs here. Okay, that's the very, oh sorry, wrong view. Yeah, you've got to pay attention to here, but that's in the next tutorial. Good. What else can I show you? Let's go back here. Yeah, so let's say we wanted to put that in. They said below 8,000 feet. Then you do, of course, slash here. Speed, you don't have to put the splash for the altitude slash. For the altitude you do. So minus 8,000. And you stick that in there, and in she goes. Then you'll have a flight level restriction at 8,000. Great. What we can also do on the perf page here, we can change the climb speed. This is maybe better showing you in flight, but let's say you're climbing and say no greater than 280 in the climb till whenever. Then you just come in here, you do a quick edit. What you do is put in 280 knots. I'll just zoom out and show you this. So you would be on the FMA here, you'd be in FMS speed, which is here, you'd be at 310 in the climb, or after 10,000 feet, for example. You'd be at pitching for or aiming for 310 knots, but they say maintain 280. So you stick it in here. You see, it's just gone in. That's just an edit, but you have to click it again because bold at the moment. That's being commanded over here. I don't think it'll work on the ground, but if I click now edit here, yeah, okay, let's see. Yeah, nothing's changed there. But in flight, that would now be a manual edit, and that will stay. The plane will stay climbing at 280 until you just either click Econ again to make that bold, or you could just hit FMS speed. Of course, it's doing nothing here because we're not actually in flight and the autopilot's not on, but that's pretty cool. You can also change your cruise, same thing here, and your descent. Okay, it's pretty simple. Descent forecast, that you put in your winds here again. There you go. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Thanks a lot. Of course, there's holds, there's directs, which is really quite good. You can go to direct trend. You can do a beam waypoints. Is that going to work on the ground? Oh yeah, cool. So you've got now a beam Delta 26, a beam Trent. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm done. Thanks for watching if you're still here, and see you on the next one. Bye.